Hey y'all, Minecraft King Pro here, cause I wanted to talk to you all about something. My bag is not fucking staying up. I wanted to talk to you all about something on my mind, and it's something that I feel like I need to do. This is related to my relationship with Jada. I feel like in a lot of my videos, I've always said how she made mistakes, but I kind of never really explained on what those mistakes were. I've explained what my mistakes were, and I'm sure there's a lot more that I could explain that I would like to explain in the future. But I think it's important that I look at this from an outside perspective and point out all the wrong that she has done to me. So, for example, in my previous video, I believe I touched on Jada not really telling me the full truth. That was a bad habit she would have, where she would twist words and their meanings, like someone who says they can do something versus someone who says they will do something. That was something she actively did a lot to me. And she would actively try to hide the full story from whether that be me or whether that be her friends. For example, when last video I talked about the fake breakup, she told her friends that she was being serious and that I was the one that was taking it not so seriously. I have some screenshots to prove otherwise that will hopefully be right here popping up as the video goes along. That should hopefully show this in case anyone doesn't believe me. I also wanted to talk about the time she cheated on me. I believe it was around 2-3 years ago. She ended up cheating on me with a guy who, I'm not going to say his name, but we're just going to call him C. So she cheated on me with a guy named C, which, albeit our relationship wasn't in the best spot at the time, but still she would actively send pictures of her body to him in hopes of validation and whatnot, and would actively hide it from me. And it got to the point where I was begging her every day to please don't be cheating on me, please don't be cheating on me. And then I found out when she was actively telling me that she wasn't cheating on me. Sending pictures of your body to other people is cheating. You're giving yourself up. You're letting yourself out there. And she tried gaslighting me into believing that it wasn't cheating, which is the next topic I wanted to get into. She would gaslight me a lot and a lot. And whether it be small things or really important things like, oh no, that's not cheating. That's not cheating. What do you mean that's not cheating? I did it for this. That's not cheating. That's really the main example I have. If I have any other examples, I'll put them up right here. But she would actively do everything she can to make me believe a certain way and whatnot. And she had a very big emphasis on closure. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. I'll get into the issue here in a little bit. There's nothing wrong with having an emphasis on closure, as that is something that I actively tried to give her. These screenshots that will be popping up here should prove that. I made it a very big deal to try to provide her as much closure as possible on prior things that happened in our relationship, because it was something I wanted to do. I wanted to give her closure on things so that way she could move on and flourish from it and whatnot. However, when our relationship ended, she refused to give me any closure until I was practically begging her. She had me blocked on everything. She would refuse to contact me, and I would have to find ways to reach out to her in hopes of getting that closure, to which she still has not given me fully. She's still not given me full closure. But that is just some hypocrisy. And another example of hypocrisy is throughout our entire relationship up until near the end, she made it a very apparent that she did not like people who played guitar. She was like, oh, you play guitar? Manipulator final boss. That was her thing. However, near the end, she started wanting to play it. And I pointed that out. I said, I'll have screenshots here. I said something along the lines of, I'm not upset at you for wanting to pick up guitar. It just makes you seem a little bit like a hypocrite for 3-4 years now, telling me how you don't like people who play guitar, and now you're playing guitar, or you're trying to learn. And that led her into saying some things like, this is why I don't tell you anything. I don't feel like I can't tell you anything, because you are going against your word. And I am not judging. I was not judging her, to tell you the truth. Like I said, I was not upset at her. In fact, I even encouraged her. I said, I think you'll do great, baby. I think you'll do amazing at the guitar. It's just with the comments you made before, it makes you seem a little bit like a hypocrite and whatnot. And that really bugged her, apparently. That was really bugging with her. And oftentimes she would dismiss our relationship. Like, I would actively try buying her things. I would try creating plans. I would try doing all these things with her, so that way I could be a more active boyfriend with her. However, I'd be like, hey, can you ask your mom if we can hang out? And she wouldn't ask. And which, it's like, I get you can't ask every time, but if it got to the point where we're seeing each other every few months, hell, there was a time we didn't see each other for a whole year. Whole year and 3 months we were apart. And it's not like I didn't ask to see her. I would actively ask to see her. I would try to make plans. I bought her and her mom movie tickets. I bought me a movie ticket. In fact, I bought all 3 of us movie tickets. I bought her and her mom movie ticket one time in hopes that I could come. And then I bought us 3 movie tickets. Well, 4 if we include her mother's boyfriend, where they never even answered my call, and Jada never asked. So I bought 4 movie tickets for nothing. It was to see the Minecraft movie. And there was this one comment that she made prior where she said she'd rather be my sneaky link than my girlfriend. And that really hurt. It hurt really bad hearing her say that, because her love was something I always cherished. It was something I always desired. I always wanted to be loved by her, and I wanted to love her. And hearing her say that she would rather just be a whore, like a slut that I would go to, and to view sex as a transactional way, she would rather that than be my girlfriend and my partner for life. And that's something she would also do. She would view sex in a very transactional way, where if after every time she would just, I don't know, I don't want to dive too deep into it, but she viewed it very transactional. I don't want to get too deep into it because I'm an adult now and she is a kid. We were both kids at the time, obviously, and I guess it's wrong for me to keep talking about that. But that was something that she would actively do. She would actively view it as transactional and wouldn't really I craved intimacy, which she would not give me. And I want to emphasize this. We're young. We are young. We were kids. We make mistakes. That's who we are. We're meant to make mistakes. It is up to you to decide whether or not those mistakes define you. And I don't believe that those mistakes define Jada. When I think of Jada, I don't think of a cheater, of a gaslighter, of someone who would twist words. That's not something I think of. When I think of Jada, I think of a sweet girl who needs to be taken care of because she has a lot of trauma that she is still yet to get out there. And she deserves someone that makes her happy. and that takes care of her. I think she is still a sweet girl. I think that she is a wonderful girlfriend, despite these flaws that I've stated. I don't think they don't tear my opinion down of her in any way. When you love someone, you love them for their flaws and their perfections. There's nothing that she's done to me that I don't forgive. I forgive and I move on. And yeah, kind of just wanted to get this out there. We all make mistakes, and I hope that she maybe one day gives me full closure and we can end this on better terms. In the meantime, though, I love you all. Minecraft King Pro out.